Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today, we're watching The Big Bang Theory. This is our 15th episode of the 11th season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you liked what's today's full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Just click on it, put a password in, and enjoy. So last episode, interestingly, Raj found himself in the middle of like a relationship struggle. You know, he went out, you know, picked up a girl from, you know, standard casual dating, basically. You know, he was working, she come over, she hit on him, he, you know, talked back, she was liking it, you know, called her, went out, hit it off, slept with her, found out she was married. Then he's like, how long you been separated? 2 weeks. He's like, mate, that is a short amount of time. What's going on? Obviously, she's explained the situation. Now, Raj, when he's gone back to work, has had her husband, currently anyway, come, and it looked like he was going to beat him up. Looked like, you know, they usually come in and argue with the guy. Well, no, he actually sat down, broke down a little bit. They kind of bonded. Raj helped him kind of win her back, and she thought it was a little bit weird, but Raj was saying, look, mate, if there's a little bit of chance that your relationship can, you know, succeed, then why would I want to be in the way of it? You know what I mean? He explained that he never knew that she was married. Obviously, he wouldn't if she wasn't wearing a wedding ring, and she was never actually going to disclose that to him. And they ended off hitting it off, you know, he rekindled their relationship, and he also made a good friend along the way. So, you know, it showed a good progression, and I really was impressed with Raj in the last episode. He put somebody else's happiness before his own, and not many people can do that. Now, interestingly, Sheldon, talking about happiness, I think he's figured out that he wants to go back into string theory. You know, Penny ended up explaining to him, look, mate, you know, he was on string theory, he wasn't making any progress, so you went for a rebound. Kind of like in a relationship, when you break up, you just get with the next person that's there. However, you know that's not the long-term plan, and you know that's not where you want to be, and you've gone and come to that realization now that where you actually want to be is back in string theory. You can see it in his face when he's talking about it. He loves it, the elation. It's totally different to the dark matter. He might have interest in the field, but it's not his passion. You know what I'm saying? So now we're going back into his original field, and hopefully he can make some waves and progressions in there. So I'm interested to see if he does actually go back to where we originally seen him start. Thanks for checking out today's episode, though. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like. It really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Hey, what are you doing? I thought we were having dinner at Leonard and Penny's.
Oh, no. They're watching the new Professor Proton. I can't keep Will Wheaton off the internet, but I can keep him off my retinas.
Well, what if I watch it with you? Maybe I won't like it, and we can complain about it together.
Get your own thing to complain about.
If you watch it, maybe you can find more specific things to criticize.
Oh, that is a good point. Criticisms are more hurtful when they're specific.
I'm Professor Proton. Welcome to the show. Today, I will be teaching you how to make a real hovercraft using common household items.
Darn it, I do like objects that hover.
All you will need is a CD, a bottle cap, a balloon, and some super glue.
Oh no, I have all those things.
It's my new keyboard. It looks and sounds like an old-fashioned typewriter. It makes me feel like a real novelist.
So how's the book coming along?
Good. I just wrote the part where the hero, hotshot physicist Logan Dean arrives at CERN.
Oh, is he based on you?
Kind of. But he can eat dairy products without having to leave the room. I just thought of the murder weapon.
Swiss Army knife?
No.
I thought it was.
That's way better.
See, there was a reason to keep that TurboTax CD.
Mate, that's well good.
CD-ROM, more like CD-vroom.
Why can you not trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
That's funny.
I wonder who that could be.
Just when I thought this couldn't get any better, Will has introduced suspense into the show.
Hey, it's real
Oh, Howard? I'm
Wolowitz.
gonna be fuming.
What? How could Will ask Howard to be on his show and not me?
Well, he is an astronaut. He didn't start an online petition to get Will fired.
All those answers make a lot of sense. Thank you, Amy. That helps.
Do you know what? Fair play to him there for not actually going off on a tangent. But it is true. The thing that they don't realise is, I mean, they obviously realise that he's an astronaut because he went on about it on and on and on, and it started to peck my head. However, obviously, and they're friends with him on it every day, so he'll always be Howard. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of what feat you achieve, he's always Howard to them. It's not Howard the Great, Howard the astronaut, Howard this, you know, it's just Howard Wolowitz, my friend. However, to a standard Joe Blogs, that is impressive. I mean, it is impressive in general, but getting an astronaut on the show, kids are going to be like, wow, an astronaut, you know, as well as, wow, a scientist. The thing is, is shows like that that can help kids get engaged with day-to-day items that most people will have in their own home is actually very clever. You know, there was like a show when we was kids called like Art Attack. It was on TV and you could help you draw things and stuff, and this is the same. If I was watching that as a kid and he was like, get a CD and get a balloon and get an elastic band and we can get this going, I'd be like, wow, that's really fun. I want to watch it. I want to do this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know how in-depth it would be, but something simple like that, I can see why everybody would be loving it.
When the lights come back on in the Super Collider room, Dr. Logan Dean makes two important discoveries. A gluino and murder.
I don't know which Hemsworth is playing Logan Dean, but I know it's a Hemsworth.
Just writing it before they can make it into a movie, and I still have a few things to figure out.
There was a funny detective show in India called Karam Chand. He had an assistant named Kitty, and he was always saying, "Shut up, Kitty."
Howard, I want you to know that I forgive you.
I'll take it.
What's he forgiving you for?
It don't matter.
There, clean slate. Happy Yom Kippur to me.
Innit?
I know that you were on Will's show, and I know why you didn't tell me. Because you were afraid that I would be difficult and annoying about it.
I hope your book has a twist as surprising as that.
Curiosity, how did you come to be on the show? Did he ask you? Did you ask him? Did you just show up on the set and ring that doorbell?
And if you want to be on the show, you're going to have to apologize to Will.
Ooh,
What? Well, which part?
that was just a baby kicking. So does Penny know you based a character on her? Ilsa, the head of the Institute, that's clearly Penny. Confident, ball-busting beauty who's always rolling her eyes at Logan. To the stunning woman who was his boss and said,
It's murder.
I actually like how he
Figure
done
that out
this.
yourself, genius.
Okay, no need to be snarky. The door is locked, so it has to be someone in this room. She'll be flattered?
I don't know, she's pretty mean.
Ilsa or Penny?
Exactly.
Oh, hey, Howard, what's up?
I'm so sorry.
What for? Hello, Sheldon. I suppose you've come here to tell me that you've moved me to your super secret enemies list?
I'm just a regular guy with a regular enemies list. Which, by the way, you are no longer on. I watched your show, and it's really good.
Well, I appreciate that, Sheldon. You know, actually...
Yay! You know, or wouldn't it be nice to have us both on to show that even female scientists can land a man?
I said,
Amy's gonna go on it. The thing is though, you can understand why Sheldon's gonna be upset, not because of Amy's doing her thing, and not really because of Howard doing his thing. You know, both of them are succeeding in their retrospective fields, so they both should be kind of honoured and acknowledged. You know, I don't think he's got anything wrong with that. It's the fact that this has always been his dream, as he's stated, to be on this, and he wanted to be Professor Proton himself and failed to get the gig. You know what I mean? And now he's seeing people that he, you know, associates himself with all make appearances and all get invited on, and not him. It's obviously going to hurt. So you can see where it's coming from. And do you know what? I take anything that Sheldon says with a pinch of salt nowadays. You know, he always says things without meaning to in a bad way, and he always kind of like could offend people here and there, but that's just Sheldon. He never does it maliciously. So I mean, I just take it as hilarious half the time because he doesn't even know what he's talking about.
See, I can't wait to see who the killer is. Hey, is it that Ilsa girl? She seems pretty mean.
But adorably mean? Like a baby lion?
No, regular mean, like a regular lion. Seems pretty accurate considering who you based it on.
Huh.
Bernadette, she's going to say.
Who do you think that is?
I knew it.
Wow, you are on fire.
Each one of you had a motive.
who died and made you detective?
He did.
I don't mean to interrupt, but somebody's tracking blood everywhere, so never mind, it's me.
How do we know you're not the killer?
Not smart enough to pull off a murder like this.
Blonde, mean, glasses.
It doesn't say glasses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, but it will, because Elsa does. Who else wears them? Bernadette.
How would you like to be on television?
Gonna be a news story where I have to say you were quiet and kept to yourself and I'm as shocked as anyone.
Wheaton wants you to be on Professor Proton.
But I'm not really interested.
What do you mean? He wants to talk about women in science. You're a woman. You're in science. You go, girl. Is it because kids may be there and they're known carriers of head lice? I get that.
Sure, that's the reason.
You're always bragging that lice aren't attracted to you because your scalp is so oily. That was on your dating profile.
I know you have strong feelings about Professor Proton, and I don't want to get in the middle of that.
So you're not going to do something just because you think it might upset me?
Well, it's tricky.
What other things don't you do because of me?
Remember last week when we went to that dueling piano bar I was so excited about?
No.
Well, now you're getting it.
Boy, I don't know how people who aren't on bed rest keep up with the Kardashians.
Sometimes you have to read in your car while your husband thinks you're working late. The Ilsa character didn't bother you?
Oh, he was exaggerating. You're not really like that.
Well, I know I'm not like that. The character was based on you.
When I brought it up with Leonard, he said it was you.
Well, when I brought it up, he got all squirrely and left the room. Son of a bitch.
Sometimes Amy doesn't do things because she's worried about how I'll react.
First of all, it's not sometimes, it's always.
Yeah, like just now I wanted to get a croissant, but I didn't want to hear you say ooh la la.
Everyone walks on eggshells to spare my feelings.
Of course not, because we don't want to hear you complain about how much you hate the sound of crunching eggshells.
Yeah, everybody thinks I'm so predictable. Well, tomorrow, I'm gonna show up at work and do something no one will expect.
Wear a baseball cap backwards to prove your point.
Look at his face. He's so good at facial expressions.
Yes, but which hat?
Gryffindor.
Well, now that you guessed it, I'm not gonna do it.
Looks like the bullet went right through you. Damn it, Logan, when are you gonna stop?
Sorry, I didn't get my PhD in quitting.
Does it hurt?
Everything you do hurts.
Then why do you keep coming back for more?
Hey,
So this is what you think of me? I'm mean and everything I do hurts you?
you two are totally different.
How?
Well, her name's Ilsa.
Are you sure that's the move you want to make?
Absolutely.
He's seen it, she'll let him win.
Okay. Checkmate.
Oh, I did not see that coming.
What's going on?
You beat me, and I am responding with humility and admiration. What does it look like?
Let me win so you could show me how emotionally mature you are, didn't you?
Well, I couldn't wait for you to actually beat me. That would take forever. Sorry. I'm trying to show you that I can change. There is a little girl who will see you on Will's show and realize that she too can grow up to be a brilliant, amazing, successful scientist who is really terrible at chess.
Mate, I'm impressed with Sheldon.
I didn't intend to write about Penny, but I guess maybe subconsciously I did.
Maybe this book of yours is a bad idea. A physicist. What makes you think you can write a book?
You're a physicist. What makes you think you can solve a crime?
Gotta go.
I think you mean have to.
Ilsa, it's not you, it's my mother. I've been writing about my mother.
I think you're neglecting your own motive. A massive inferiority complex.
It's just average sized.
We gotta find some bandages.
There's no time. Does it hurt?
Everything you do hurts.
Maybe you like it.
Maybe I do. You know what? I'm a physicist. What am I doing writing a book?
The thing is, right, why does a character have to be about anyone specific? Although, I kind of understand where they're coming from, because the way people do stuff is they draw off personalities that they know, and that helps them kind of build foundations of characters around them. Do you know what I mean? So, like, obviously, his main character will be built on himself, and then, like, the other supporting characters and friends that he'll make will be based on personalities around each other. But, I mean, it's obvious that everybody will make an assumption. However, it doesn't necessarily have to be about them. They can take bits and attributes of each of them.
Well, that is our show for today, and I want to say a very special thank you to Dr. Amy Fowler for being here. It was a real pleasure having you.
And you can feel that pleasure because you don't have a lesion in your nucleus accumbens.
You were glowing.
Really scalp.
I'm so proud of you.
And I'm proud of you.
Because you can't tell how jealous I am.
No, I can.
But it's the fact that you're not making it bother him. Yeah, yeah.
Really hard.
I go to bed.
All right, I'm gonna go scream on the roof.
Love you.
Love you.
The thing is, though, right, that is good from Sheldon, is it not? Like, I personally think that's great, because the fact is, like I was saying before in the episode, you know, he wanted to be Professor Proton, he didn't get it, and Will did, and then he watched it and acknowledged that he's decent and give him praise, and then he's then seen friends and associates around him do things or get invited onto a show that he really desperately wants to be there. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, I'm actually really impressed with him. Do you know what, right? At some point, you've got to not keep acknowledging progression and just acknowledge that they're completely a better person. You know what I mean? I always say, like, oh, the progression of Sheldon, oh, the progression of Raj, but, like, that's who they are now. You know what I mean? It's no longer progression, it's who they are. And, you know, it's good to see, because, like I said, if you compare, the best thing to do is compare the early seasons compared to now, and you're like, this Sheldon is better. You know, instead of it being all about me, Sheldon, it is, but he's also got, you know, feelings for other people now, and she got offered this opportunity, and although it would hurt him, and you can see the pain and how much he wants to scream at the end there, he proposed it to her, give it her, and when she said no, he kind of, you know, give her the advantages and benefits of why it would help, and even pushed her towards doing it, even though it would, you know, make him upset. And as you can see there, you know, he's watched it, he's praised her again, and he's even acknowledged that by doing that, it's obviously hurting him inside. Not because she's done anything wrong, it's just because of his jealousy, you know, is bubbling right up to the top. And even she's acknowledged that as well, and he's gone up and he's let his vent, he's, you know, his anger, his whatever it is out somewhere else. He's praised her, said well done, she done a really good job, he's proud of her, and then went and let his kind of jealousy, his anger, his frustration out somewhere else. And I actually thought it was really good. Like I said, you know, I'm going to try and stop acknowledging progression and just start acknowledging how much better they are as characters, because Rad's last episode putting somebody else before himself, and Sheldon in today's episode putting somebody else before himself, I actually really enjoyed it. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So Leonard, he's writing a book. Now, interestingly, you know, when you do write a book, you will be pulling off and drawing off traits and, you know, characteristics from your friends and your families and people that you've met in real life. That's builds the foundation of stories, you know what I mean? Like, you're not just going to go into everything willy-nilly. You're going to, you know, pull things here and there that you've seen. And obviously, he's creating these characters, Ilsa, it sounded like. And, you know, Bernadette thought that he was actually talking about Penny, and Penny actually thought that he was talking about Bernadette. And in reality, he's probably never even actually sat down and thought about who exactly is his character based on. You know, he's probably just typing and, you know, bouncing ideas off his main character. That's what he's doing. So he's got his main character, Leonard, or whatever he called him, and he's going for it, and then he's thinking, oh, this and this and this, and then it's building the foundation of a person, and then obviously it's the interpretation of the reader who they think it is. So I would say one is pretty good, really, because if two people are reading it and not knowing who it is and thinking it's other people, that he's kind of doing well, isn't it? It's not making it the obvious. But two as well, you know, both of them said that they actually didn't know who the killer was, which is really impressive, because then he's got an open kind of checkbook, hasn't he, or whatever you want to call it, endless possibilities to do his story. Now, what I was actually thinking here in my head, right, is, you know, obviously, sometimes movies are made based on books. You know, The Martian, Ready Player One, you got Dune. You know, it's a movie based on the book by X. Harry Potter, for example. The Wizarding World was created by J.K. Rowling, and then obviously they transformed it into the films. But there've been many films that have been obviously produced and made that has got no association to a book at all. So I'm just going to take a random film off the top of my head. It could have a book, it could not. I'm just saying, literally. You know what I mean? I'm just picking it. I have no idea. But The Bullet Train, for example, come out like last year. Brad Pitt, Joey King. You know, it's got Bad Bunny in it. It's a good film. It actually is a really good film. Now, I don't know if that's got a book. However, if somebody like me ripped that film and made it into a book with all the characters with different names, would you get it done for copyright? That is an interesting question. If I took the whole plot of that film and all the characters and changed all of the names and altered each scenario, would that be my book? Would I be allowed to publish it, and would I be able to get the rights for it? Because it's clearly good and people clearly like it, because it's a film that's made hundreds of millions in the theatres. So why would people not want to read it? Same story, a little bit different, a little bit of a more twist been put into it. I would like to know that. I actually would. It's kind of like when you go to university. Everybody's done it, and if you haven't, you've absolutely failed at you failed at being a student. You get an assignment, you see somebody's story, you copy and paste it, you change the words, you claim it as your own. Everybody does it. If you haven't, fair play, you are the greatest person ever. I used to do it all the time. When I was doing my dissertations and stuff like that, I would see other people that have done similar subjects. I would take their paragraphs, I would rephrase it, I would use their work basically as my work. I would just change it so it was all mine, but I used their premise. They led me to the direction. I seen the story, I knew where I was going, got the ending, brought it over here, made it mine. Same with a film. I know the story, I know the plot, I know the characters, I know the ending. Let me change all the names. Let me keep the, you know, like the plot kind of the same, but we'll change the environment. It's not a train anymore. It's a plane. Do you know what I mean? Like, would you be able to rip it like that? That's what I think it'd be really interesting actually to see. Technology would be able to do that as well. I bet you could have some sort of AI now, like rip through a film, translate it into a code that obviously brings it into text, and you could just alter it that way. It's mad, literally. It's mad the possibilities that you could do. And, you know, I'd actually be really interested to see. And I want Leonard actually to create his book and finish it, because I feel like it's really impressive. I think it's hard to write a book. If I was to write one, I'd probably write it, get it to a stage that was finished, and then need somebody else to go over it and do it more, what would you say, academic, intellectually. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Make it sound better. And because you could have it briefly, but somebody would have to put it into a better describe in words, in my opinion, because I'm not amazing at it. But Leonard's book seems to be going well. People like it, and I want to see him finish it off. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.